Chapter 1. Sam I Am. Introduction to Sam I Am. In a world of whimsy where stories take flight, there's a character named Sam, full of colorful light. Sam I Am is the name, remember it well, with a hat on his head and a story to tell. With a spring in his step and a grin so wide, he's a character full of adventure and pride. He's not one to sit still, not one to be tame. Our friend Sam I Am is his joyful name. He's known far and wide for his playful desire to share green eggs and ham. He'll never tire. With a bounce in his step and a rhyme on his tongue, join Sam I Am's journey. It's going to be fun. So gather around and lend an ear, for Sam I Am's stories are what you'll want to hear. In this world of imagination where rhymes always flow, with Sam I Am by your side, let the adventures go. Sam's enthusiastic desire in a land of whimsy under skies so blue, Sam I Am had a notion, a tasty plan in view. With a platter in hand, green eggs and ham so fine, he sought a friend to taste it, to share the meal divine. Try them, Sam exclaimed, oh so spry. I promise, friend, you'll love them. Give it a try, green eggs and ham, a feast beyond compare. I'll show you, dear friend. It's a flavor so rare. With a twinkle in his eye and a bounce in his stride, Sam I Am was relentless. He wouldn't let it slide. Through the valleys and hills he'd chase and pursue his green eggs and ham, an adventure to ensue. He'd offer them here, he'd offer them there, in every nook and cranny in the open air. His enthusiasm infectious, his spirit so grand, Sam I Am would go to lengths to make them understand. So, with a heart full of zest and a rhyme on his tongue, Sam's enthusiasm for green eggs and ham flung. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories delight, Sam's quest for a taste was a colorful flight. Chapter 2. Would you like them here or there? In this whimsical world with Sam at your side, a question arises. In rhythm and rhyme we'll glide. Would you like them here or there? Sam asked with cheer, green eggs and ham, a taste adventure drawing near. Here or there? He'd inquire with a grin so wide, in every possible place he'd never hide. With a plate in his hand and a hat on his head, Sam's persistence in asking no one could dread. Would you, could you, in a house you see? Sam's question rang out, both playful and free. Would you, could you, with a mouse nearby, in Sam's world of wonder, let's give it a try. Here or there? He'd ask, in a rhythmic tone, Sam's quest for a taste, an adventure all his own. With each query he posed, with each scene he'd share, the world of green eggs and ham, we'd explore it with care. So stay with Sam I Am, for the journey unfolds. Would you like them here or there? The story beholds. In the land of Dr. Seuss, where whimsy takes flight, Sam's questions and rhymes, a colorful delight. The character's refusal in the world of whimsy, our character stood tall, resolute, and steadfast, refusing with a drawl. To try green eggs and ham in a house they'd decline, their determination unwavering, a refusal so fine. Try them in a house, Sam I Am would inquire, but the character's response was quick, no desire. Not in a house, not anywhere, you see I'll never taste them. It's not for me, Sam didn't falter. With a grin on his face, he'd try a different place, set a different pace. Would you, could you, with a mouse perhaps? But the character's answer, a firm and resounding lapse. Not with a mouse, not in a box, not on a boat. I'll never try them, that's all I wrote. Not in a car, not in a tree, nor by the sea. Green eggs and ham, they're not for me, Sam's persistence continued in his rhyming cheer, but the character's refusals, they were crystal clear. In a house or with a mouse, anywhere or anywhere not, green eggs and ham, the character's taste it fought. So in this rhythmic tale, we see the character's stance, refusing green eggs and ham, a culinary dance. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where rhymes take flight, the character's steadfastness, a colorful sight. Chapter 3. Not in a house. In this rhythmic tale, with a twist and a turn, the character's refusal continued, their resolve to discern. Not in a house, they'd declare with a frown, green eggs and ham in a house, they'd turn it down. Sam I Am was undaunted, his spirit so high, he'd try a different setting, a different sky. But the character's reluctance, it remained the same. In a house, they'd refuse, playing a steadfast game. With whimsy and rhyme, Sam tried to persuade, in a rhythmic exchange, their choices displayed. But the character's refusal, it echoed loud and clear, in a house, green eggs and ham they'd never hold dear. So, as this chapter unfolds, with each rhyming verse, the characters stance, their refusal terse. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, not in a house, they'd declare, in the playful light. Sam's creative attempts with creativity boundless, and a heart full of glee. Sam I Am unleashed ideas as wild as the sea. To try green eggs and ham, let's have some fun in a house or a mouse hole when all's said and done. He donned a chef's hat with a spatula in hand, whisked and scrambled, cooked up a plan so grand. Try them with a twist and a sprinkle of spice. In a house or a boat, it's all rather nice. He painted them purple with a dash of bright blue. Green eggs and ham in colors so new. Would you, could you, with a touch of rainbow flair? In a house or a tree, come on if you dare. Sam's creativity soared. As he danced and sang, he tried every trick, like a true rhyming king. With every attempt, with each whimsical glance, he hoped to convince the character to give it a chance. But the character stood firm. Their resolve didn't bend. Green eggs and ham, it's not my trend. In a house or a car, I won't change my stance. I'll never try them, not even by chance. So, in this rhythmic tale, with rhymes so sweet, Sam's creative attempts, a colorful feat. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, Sam's persistence and creativity, a whimsical delight. Chapter 4. Not with a mouse in the world of whimsy where rhymes always flow, the character's refusal, it continued to show. Not with a mouse, they'd declare with a sigh, green eggs and ham with a mouse, they'd pass it by. Sam I am, undeterred, kept his spirits high, with a plate in his hand, he'd give it another try. Would you could you with a mouse to share? Green eggs and ham, it's a culinary affair, but the character's reluctance, it remained so clear. With each rhyming request, they'd steer clear. Not with a mouse, not in a house, not anywhere you tout. Green eggs and ham, I'll do without. With a rhyme and a twist, Sam tried to persuade in a rhythmic exchange, the choices were laid. But the character's refusal, it echoed once more, with a mouse or a house, green eggs they'd ignore. So, in this chapter's rhythm, the character's stance, a refusal so steadfast, a whimsical dance. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, not with a mouse, they'd proclaim, in the playful light. Sam's inventive persuasion in a world of rhyme and rhythm, where whimsy's the key. Sam I am got creative, as you'll soon see. With inventive persuasion, he aimed to inspire a taste of green eggs and ham, the ultimate desire. He set up a stage with a spotlight so bright. Try them on this stage, it's quite a sight. Would you could you with an audience here? Green eggs and ham, it's the taste of cheer. He brought in a band with music and flair. Try them with a serenade in the open air. Would you could you with a musical tune? Green eggs and ham under the shining moon. He painted a mural with colors so bold. Try them by this artwork, it's a sight to behold. Would you could you with colors so grand? Green eggs and ham, it's an artistry brand. Sam's inventive techniques, they knew no end. With each new idea he aimed to befriend. But the character's resolve, it still stood strong. Green eggs and ham, it's just not where I belong. So, in this rhythmic tale, with inventive delight, Sam's creative methods, a colorful fight. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, Sam's inventive persuasion, a whimsical light. Chapter 5. Not in a box in the land of rhymes and whimsy, the tale goes on, the character's refusal, like a persistent dawn. Not in a box, they'd declare, with a firm stance, green eggs and ham in a box, they'd give it no chance. Sam I am, ever lively, with a hat on his head, continued his quest, though some might have said, would you could you in this box so snug, green eggs and ham, it's a tasty, tasty drug, but the character's reluctance, it stood so clear. With each new suggestion, the answer drew near. Not in a box, not with a mouse or a house, green eggs and ham, I'll keep them out, no doubt. Sam's persistence was boundless, his spirit so high, inventing and suggesting he'd give it a try. But the character's refusal, it echoed once more, no box, no mouse, green eggs I'll ignore. So in this rhythmic chapter, with rhymes so bright, the character's resolve and unwavering light. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, not in a box, they'd proclaim, in the playful light. Sam's determination in a world of rhyme and rhythm where whimsy takes flight. Sam I am's determination shone so bright. To change the character's mind, he was on a quest. Green eggs and ham, he'd never let it rest. With a twinkle in his eye and a hat on his head, Sam's resolve was unshaken, as he firmly said, would you could you in a boat or with a goat? Green eggs and ham, it's a taste worth a note. He brought in a goat with a friendly grin. Try them with this goat, it's a tasty spin. Would you could you with this furry friend? Green eggs and ham, it's a trend that won't end. He set sail on a boat, on an ocean so wide. Try them on a boat with the ocean as your guide. Would you could you on this watery track? Green eggs and ham, it's a culinary knack. Sam's determination knew no bounds, you see. He'd try every option, as wild as could be. But the character's stance, it still held tight. Green eggs and ham, it's just not right. So, in this rhythmic tale, with determination in sight, Sam's unwavering spirit, a colorful light. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, Sam's determination, a whimsical fight. Chapter 6. Not with a fox in the land of whimsy where rhymes never cease. The character's refusal continued, a stubborn release. Not with a fox, they'd declare with a frown. Green eggs and ham with a fox, they'd turn it down. Sam I am, undeterred, with a plate held so high, he'd attempt once more, reaching for the sky. Would you could you with a fox by your side? Green eggs and ham, it's a flavor ride, but the character's reluctance, it held its ground. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where rhymes abound. Not with a fox, not in a house or a tree, green eggs and ham, it's not for me. Sam's persistence was unwavering, he stood tall. Would you could you with a fox after all? In a box or a boat or on this grassy knoll, green eggs and ham, it'll soothe your soul. But the character's response echoed once more, with each new suggestion they held to the core. Not with a fox, not with a mouse or a house, green eggs and ham, I'll keep them out, no doubt. So, in this rhythmic chapter, the character's stance, a refusal so steadfast, a whimsical dance. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, not with a fox, they'd proclaim, in the playful light. Sam's humorous rhymes and pleas. In the world of whimsy where rhymes abound, Sam I am got creative, with humor unbound. Could you, with a goat on a boat, green eggs and ham, it'll float your moat. With a wink and a nod, he'd rhyme and he'd jest. Could you, in a car or a chest, green eggs and ham, it's a culinary delight. You'll savor every bite with all your might. He'd dance, and he'd prance with a hat on his head. Could you, with a spoonful of spread, green eggs and ham, it's a taste sensation. You'll dance with elation in culinary celebration. Sam's humor knew no bounds. He'd jest, and he'd play in a world of rhyme and rhythm night and day. Could you, in a suit or a boot, green eggs and ham, it's a delicious pursuit. But the character's resolve, it still held strong. With each new rhyme, their refusal long, Sam's humor and pleas, they painted the scene in the world of Dr. Seuss, where whimsy's queen. So in this rhythmic tale, with laughter so bright, Sam's humorous rhymes a colorful light. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, Sam's humor and pleas, a whimsical delight. Chapter 7. Not in a car. In this whimsical world, where rhymes take a spin, the character's refusal persisted, a resolute grin. Not in a car, they'd declare, with a firm tone, green eggs and ham in a car, they'd leave it alone. Sam I am, unwavering, with his hat standing tall, he'd continue to try, giving it his all. Could you, in a car on this trip, green eggs and ham, it's a tasty quip, but the character's stance, it remained steadfast. With each new location they held their contrast. Not in a car, not with a fox or a mouse, green eggs and ham, not in this house. Sam's determination, though strong as can be, in a car or a boat, he'd try every plea, but the character's refusal, it echoed once more in the world of Dr. Seuss, where rhymes did soar. So, in this rhythmic chapter, the character's defiance, a whimsical dance, a playful reliance. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, not in a car, they'd proclaim, in the playful light. Sam's persistence in the land of whimsy, where rhymes do sway. Sam I am persisted, come what may. He'd present the idea with a grin so wide, green eggs and ham, he'd never let it slide. With a plate in his hand and a twinkle in his eye, Sam's persistence was soaring, reaching for the sky. Could you, in a car or on a tree, green eggs and ham, let your taste buds roam free, he'd rhyme and he'd jest with creative delight. Could you, in the day or in the night, green eggs and ham, it's a culinary surprise, you won't believe your eyes, it's the ultimate prize. Sam's persistence, like a playful parade, with each new suggestion, he'd never fade. Could you, with a goat on a boat, green eggs and ham, it'll keep you afloat. But the character's resistance, it stood its ground, in the whimsical world where rhymes abound. Sam's persistence, a colorful display in this rhythmic tale in the Seussian way. So in this chapter's rhythm, with persistence so bright, Sam's unwavering spirit, a colorful light. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, Sam's persistence, a whimsical sight. Chapter 8, say, in the world of rhymes and whimsy, a twist did unfold. As the character's stance, it started to fold. With a thoughtful pause and a curious gleam, they finally said, all right, let's give it a dream. Sam I am, with a cheer and a grin so bright, couldn't believe his ears. It felt just right. Could you try them now without a fuss? Green eggs and ham, it's a taste for us. With a nod and a smile, the character agreed to try green eggs and ham indeed. In a house or a boat with a mouse or a fox, they took a bite, and oh, the taste was paradox. With joy and with laughter, they savored each bite. Green eggs and ham, it felt just right. In a car or a tree, on a train or by a stream, they discovered a culinary dream. So in this rhythmic chapter, the story takes a turn as the character's willingness, like a flame did burn. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, they finally said yes in the playful light. Surprise and delight with a bite in their mouth they couldn't believe. The taste of green eggs and ham, it made them retrieve. Their doubts and reluctance now turned into cheer. For the flavor of this dish, it was crystal clear. Their eyes grew wide, their smiles so bright as they savored the taste with sheer delight. Green eggs and ham, they exclaimed. Amazed in this rhythmic twist, their verdict was raised. In a house or a car, on a boat or in a tree, green eggs and ham, it was meant to be. With Sam I am by their side, they couldn't deny the joy of this culinary surprise, oh my. With each bite, their surprise did grow, the flavors danced, and it stole the show. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where rhymes ignite, their newfound love for it, a whimsical sight. So in this rhythmic chapter, with joy so bright, the surprise and delight, a colorful light. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, green eggs and ham, their newfound delight. Chapter 9. They like green eggs and ham. With each bite they took, it became so clear, the characters' doubts had disappeared. They liked green eggs and ham. Oh, what a surprise. In this rhythmic twist, it was time to rise. In a house or a car, on a boat or in a tree, green eggs and ham, it filled them with glee. With Sam I am by their side, it was quite grand, the taste of this dish in this whimsical land. Their smiles so wide, their laughter did sing, as they declared their love for this culinary thing. We like green eggs and ham, it's a delightful treat. In this playful world, it can't be beat. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, the characters' realization a colorful sight. They liked green eggs and ham, they proclaimed with cheer. In this rhythmic chapter, the message was clear. So, in this joyful moment with delight in sight, they liked green eggs and ham. Oh, what a sight! In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories ignite, they realized it now, their newfound delight. The joyous celebration in a world of whimsy where rhymes do bloom, a joyous celebration as the room did consume. With Sam I Am by their side, and hearts so light, they celebrated their newfound culinary delight. They danced and they pranced in jubilant glee, with plates held high, joyful spree. Green eggs and ham, our favorite treat. It's a culinary journey, oh so sweet, in a house or a car, on a boat or in a tree. Green eggs and ham, it brought so much glee. Their laughter echoed as they danced around. In this rhythmic tale, joy knew no bound. With a twirl and a twist, they raised their voice, celebrating together, it was their choice. Green eggs and ham will sing its praise. In this playful world, it's a taste that stays. So, in this rhythmic chapter, with joy in the air, their celebration continued, a colorful affair. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, their love for green eggs and ham, a whimsical light. Chapter 10. Conclusion. With a twinkle in his eye and a triumphant grin, Sam I Am had shown that with patience you can win. He'd convinced the character to try something new, green eggs and ham, a culinary breakthrough, in a house or a car, on a boat or in a tree. They now loved green eggs and ham, as you can see. Their journey together in this whimsical land had brought them closer, hand in hand. With a sense of adventure and a heart so wide, Sam's triumph was felt as the story did ride. Would you, could you, his rhyme did say, and the character had found a new favorite today. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories ignite, Sam's triumph was a colorful, joyous sight. To try something new, to take a leap in this rhythmic tale, their friendship ran deep. So, in this rhythmic conclusion, with a resounding cheer, Sam I Am's triumph oh so clear. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, their adventure together, a heartwarming light. A happy ending in the world of rhymes and whimsy, the tale concludes. With the characters together, their hearts in tune, they sat side by side with joy in their eyes, savoring green eggs and ham under the playful skies. With laughter and smiles, they shared a plate, green eggs and ham, it was their favorite fate. In a house or a car, on a boat or in a tree, together they savored a culinary spree. Their friendship had grown in this whimsical land, united by taste. Hand in hand, Sam I Am and the character, a bond so strong, their journey together an everlasting song. A happy ending in the world of rhymes and whimsy, the tale concludes. With the characters together, their hearts in tune, they sat side by side with joy in their eyes, savoring green eggs and ham under the playful skies. With laughter and smiles, they shared a plate, green eggs and ham, it was their favorite fate. In a house or a car, on a boat or in a tree, together they savored a culinary spree. Their friendship had grown in this whimsical land, united by taste. Hand in hand, Sam I Am and the character, a bond so strong, their journey together an everlasting song. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories take flight, a happy ending, a heartwarming sight. With green eggs and ham, a newfound delight, their laughter echoed in the playful light. So, in this rhythmic ending, with happiness aglow, they enjoyed green eggs and ham, their love did show. In the world of Dr. Seuss, where stories unite, a joyful conclusion in the rhyming light.